Hi guys, so today on PJ Cooks X Food, we're gonna make an herbed pasta. It's not a pesto, but it's close to it. We're gonna start this dish off as vegan, we're gonna turn it vegetarian, and then finally we're gonna mix it up and make it a carnivore special. So let's get started.
Okay, so for our pasta today, we're going to start with the produce. I have a nice bunch of fresh basil leaves, a nice bunch of fresh parsley. I have a couple of green onions. I have a couple of cloves of garlic. I have a nice big onion. And I have about a cup of fresh peas. Okay, what else we're going to need? We're going to need a good extra virgin olive oil. We're going to need some nice shell pasta. This is about a medium shell. I have some black pepper and some sea salt. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a big pot of water going with a good amount of salt. I want that to taste like the ocean. I'm going to get that up to a boil for our pasta. In a large saute pan, I'm going to put about a tablespoon or two of olive oil. I'm going to get that over on medium heat. While our oil is heating up, I want to slice up that onion. So I'm going to take off the root end, the stem end, cut it in half, go right in, pull the peel. See, I always like doing everything right next to the sink, so this way I can just take any garbage and just slide it right over. Now for my onions, I just want to slice them thinly, like so. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Take our onions and add them right to that saute pan of oil. Next, I want to take one of the cloves of garlic and put it on the board. Just give it a whack. Now, the peel comes right off nice and easily. And this, I'm going to give it a bigger whack. I'm going to dice it up a little bit. Just like so. Then, using the back of my knife, I just want to crush it up into a paste. I'm going to take this garlic paste that we just created now. I'm going to add that right to our onions. Okay, so our onions are starting to saute. At this point, I want to give it just a pinch of salt, a couple of grinds of pepper, just like so. And we're going to let that sweat on the burner for just a couple of minutes. Okay, now let's focus on some of the rest of our produce that we have here. Okay, so I have that handful of basil. I'm going to just take that, I'm going to give it a coarse chop. Just like that. I'm going to take it, I'm going to put it into the bowl of my blender. And I'm going to take the green onions, remove those tips, take them, give them a coarse chop. I'm going to throw those into my blender bowl. Next up, those other couple of garlic cloves. I'm going to peel them. And guess where they're going? Right into that blender bowl. Lastly, that bunch of parsley that I have, and chop that up coarsely. That's going in. Not leaving anything on the board, gonna clean it up. Put everything into the bowl of the blender. Now, gonna give it a shot of salt. Don't need to give it too much. You can always season it more later. Some grinds of black pepper. There we go. And let's pour in a fair amount of olive oil. I would say we're probably putting in anywhere between a third and maybe a half a cup of olive oil. One of my little green onions got away. I'm putting that right in. Now I'm going to twist on the lid to my blender because I'm using a little NutriBullet here. But if you have a regular blender, you can use that. I'm going to clamp that on, just like that. I'm going to give it a spin. I'm going to let this go for a couple of minutes until I have a nice smooth puree. Okay, so that only went for about a minute or so. What you can see we have left is this beautiful green puree of herbs and garlic and olive oil. This is going to be our sauce that's going to go on our pasta with our peas. Oh, that is tasty. So I'm going to set this off to the side. Onions are getting lovely, nice and soft. We're going to let those keep going while we wait for our pasta water to boil. So our pasta water has just come up to a boil. I'm going to go ahead and toss our pasta in. Now, keeping in mind, looking at our pasta, it says that this is going to take about 10 to 12 minutes to cook. Our peas need a good 6 minutes to cook. So what I'm going to get these started. About 4 minutes in, I'm going to toss in the peas. Okay, so our pasta and our peas are fully cooked. What I'm doing now is I'm just going to fish them out of the water with my spider. I want to leave some of that pasta water still clinging to it. We're putting it into a nice large bowl. There we're going to toss everything in together. So I'm going to keep fishing out all these vegetables and that pasta. Don't want to leave any stragglers in the pot. Okay, got it all. Now I'm going to take our onions that we sauteed earlier. I'm going to toss those right in. Grab a scraper because I don't want to leave any onions behind in that pan either. Let's stir those onions right into the pasta. This is nice and simple just as it is. But now let's go ahead and add that herb paste that we created earlier with the basil, the parsley, the garlic, the green onions, all that goodness. I'm going to give that a nice toss. You can see how the pasta is beautifully coated, the peas, the onions. At this point, we can give it a taste, see if it needs any additional seasoning, maybe a little salt, a little pepper. Let's give it a shot, shall we? Okay. Salt is good, but I think it would make it a little bit better. Just a little pinch of red pepper flake. Give it a little heat. And to give it a little brightness, maybe a little lemon zest. That'll just give it a whole other dimension of freshness. Let's go ahead, maybe give it a little squeeze of lemon juice from that lemon that we just zested over the top. Just a little bit, not too much. Just to give it a little acidity. Let's give that another nice toss now. Now let's give that a taste. I think we should be perfect. Oh, that is good. Now I made this dish as it is right now. As you can see, this was made for our vegan friends. There's been no dairy, there was no animal products, nothing. But I'm not a vegan, so I'm going to take this up to the next level for our vegetarian friends. I'm going to put some of those cubes of fresh mozzarella that we made in one of our other videos. I'm going to toss that in with our pasta. Give that a toss. And if you wanted to at this time, you could also throw in maybe a little Parmesan cheese. But right now, I just wanted to throw in some fresh mozzarella. So now we have a nice vegetarian dish. But once again, I'm not a vegetarian either. I'm a carnivore. Let's throw in some crumbled bacon. or if you had pancetta, that would be even better. Let's give that a toss. Now that everything's all well mixed, let's go ahead and plate this up. Okay, grabbing a nice platter, we'll just pour all that goodness right into the middle. Just let it all fall right down. Look how beautiful that looks. Take some more of that bacon that we had. Just sprinkle that right over the top so it's nice and fresh and bright on top and still remains good and crisp. Don't leave any of that bacon in that bowl either. Maybe right in the center, I'll place 1, 2, 3 lemon wheels. And right in the middle of those lemon wheels, I'll put a nice bunch of fresh basil. Doesn't that look good? So we started making this out as vegan, dairy-free, nut-free. We then turned it vegetarian by adding in that mozzarella cheese. We then turned it into a carnivore special by adding in the bacon. I hope you enjoyed this recipe at home. I hope you try it. This is one of my summertime favorites. Thank you for tuning in to PJ Cooks Sexy Food. We'll see you next time.